America's rise began not with power, but with survival. 13 small British colonies clung to the Atlantic coast, shaped by harsh land, limited resources, and a growing desire for self-rule that would soon challenge the world's greatest empire. British control tightened through heavy taxes and strict laws. Colonists felt exploited, fueling anger and unity. What began as protests slowly transformed into revolution, as ordinary people questioned monarchy and imagined a nation ruled by its own citizens. In 1776, the Declaration of Independence redefined power itself. America declared that governments exist to serve the people, not rule them. This radical idea shook empires and planted the ideological foundation of a future superpower. The American Revolution proved resilience could defeat empire. Despite limited resources, colonial forces used strategy, geography, and determination to overcome Britain, earning global recognition and establishing the United States as a sovereign nation. A fragile new nation needed structure. The U.S. Constitution created balance between power and freedom, preventing tyranny. This stable political system allowed America to grow internally while avoiding collapse, a rare success among young nations. Westward expansion transformed America's scale. Driven by manifest destiny, settlers pushed beyond the Mississippi, gaining land, resources, and strategic depth key ingredients that would later fuel industrial and military dominance. Industrialization changed everything. Factories, railroads, and mechanized production turned America into an economic engine, capable of producing weapons, goods, and wealth faster than most of the world. The Civil War tested America's survival. The conflict preserved the Union and ended slavery, strengthening federal authority and unifying the nation, essential for projecting power beyond its borders in the future. After the war, America rebuilt stronger. Mass immigration supplied labor and talent, while cities expanded rapidly. Diversity became an unexpected advantage, accelerating innovation and economic growth. By the early 20th century, America had become an industrial giant. Steel, oil, and electricity powered a modern economy, positioning the U.S. as a rising force ready to influence global events. America entered World War I cautiously, supplying weapons and resources before joining in. 1917, its industrial capacity and troops tipped the balance, proving that America could project power abroad and influence global politics. The 1920s brought economic boom. Cars, radios, and electricity transformed daily life. Urban centers thrived, creating a modern culture while wealth concentrated in industrial hubs, establishing America as an economic powerhouse before global depression struck. The Great Depression of 1929 tested America's resilience. Millions faced unemployment and hunger, but federal programs like the New Deal restored confidence. America learned to combine government intervention with capitalism, preparing for future national challenges. World War II transformed America into a global leader. Industrial production, scientific innovation, and a mobilized population enabled the U.S. to defeat fascism while demonstrating unparalleled logistical and military capacity. The atomic bomb ended the war and showcased America's technological might. Hiroshima and Nagasaki demonstrated that the U.S. possessed unprecedented destructive power, cementing its position as a superpower in a rapidly changing world. After World War II, the Cold War began. America confronted the Soviet Union politically, economically, and militarily. Containment, alliances like NATO, and nuclear deterrence established. America as a global hegemon competing for influence worldwide. The Marshall Plan rebuilt Europe, strengthening U.S. influence. Economic aid created loyal allies, stabilized economies, and prevented communism from spreading, demonstrating that power could be exercised through wealth and diplomacy, not just military might. The space race symbolized America's technological supremacy. Sputnik's launch by the Soviets challenged the U.S., but Apollo 11's moon landing in 1969 proved that America could achieve feats that inspired the world. Civil rights movements reshaped America from within. Leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. challenged inequality, proving that social progress strengthened democracy. A united society could project moral authority alongside economic and military power. America's economy boomed post-Wow. Suburban growth, consumer culture, and technological innovation made the U.S. a model of prosperity, demonstrating that soft power, combined with military strength, was key to maintaining superpower status. The Vietnam War challenged America's confidence. Despite vast military power, the conflict revealed limits of force. Public protest, media coverage, and political division reshaped how America used power on the global stage. The Cold War intensified through espionage and ideology. Intelligence agencies, proxy wars, and global influence campaigns defined an era where America fought not just armies, but ideas across continents. The fall of the Soviet Union in 1991 marked a turning point. America emerged as the world's sole superpower, unmatched militarily and economically, shaping a new global order dominated by U.S. leadership. Technology fueled America's next leap. Silicon Valley, computers, and the internet revolutionized communication, business, and warfare, turning innovation into a powerful tool of global dominance. The Gulf War demonstrated modern American warfare. Precision strikes, satellite intelligence, and rapid deployment showed how technology had transformed the U.S. military into a highly efficient global force. September 11, 2001 reshaped America's role forever. Terrorist attacks exposed vulnerabilities, triggering wars abroad and heightened security at home, redefining how America pursued global safety and power. The war on terror expanded U.S. military presence worldwide. Afghanistan and Iraq became long conflicts, testing endurance, resources, and public support, while reshaping global perceptions of American power. Economic crises challenged America internally. The 2008 financial crash revealed weaknesses, yet recovery reinforced the nation's resilience and central role in the global financial system. Soft power strengthened America's influence. Movies, music, education, and culture shaped global perceptions, proving dominance was not only enforced by weapons, but by ideas and lifestyle. Today, America remains a superpower facing new rivals. Military strength, technology, and alliances continue to define its role, while history reminds the world that power is built through struggle, adaptation, and vision. China's rapid economic growth challenged American dominance. Manufacturing power, trade expansion, and military modernization shifted global balance, forcing the United States to reconsider its strategies in Asia and beyond. After 2 decades, America withdrew from Afghanistan. The war's end raised questions about intervention, cost, and outcomes, reshaping how the U.S. viewed long-term military involvement abroad. Power shifted into cyberspace. Cyber attacks, digital espionage, and information warfare became new battlegrounds, where America faced invisible threats without traditional weapons or borders. Artificial intelligence reshaped military, economy, and surveillance. America invested heavily in AI, understanding that future power would belong to nations controlling data, automation, and intelligence systems. Space became strategic again. Satellites, missile defense, and lunar missions turned orbit into a new frontier, where America competed to protect dominance beyond Earth. America strengthened alliances to counter emerging threats. NATO expanded cooperation, proving power in the modern world relied not only on strength, but partnerships. The Ukraine conflict reshaped global politics. America supported allies indirectly, avoiding direct war while influencing outcomes through aid, intelligence, and diplomacy. Trade wars and sanctions became weapons. America used financial influence to pressure rivals, proving modern power could be exercised without firing a single bullet. Control of energy shaped influence. Oil, gas, and renewables defined new strategies, as America balanced independence with global market stability. Climate change became a security issue. Natural disasters, migration, and resource shortages forced America to adapt power strategies beyond military thinking. Internal divisions tested America's strength. Political conflict, media influence, and social tension raised concerns about unity within the world's most powerful nation. Corporate power expanded. American tech companies shaped global communication, economy, and opinion, giving private institutions influence once held only by governments. America modernized its forces. Drones, hypersonic weapons, and space systems reflected a shift toward speed, precision, and technological superiority. America turned attention toward the Indo-Pacific. Naval power, alliances, and strategic presence aimed to balance rising influence in the region. Narratives became weapons. Social media, misinformation, and propaganda challenged America's ability to control global perception and truth. Despite challenges, America adapted. Innovation, entrepreneurship, and recovery cycles reinforced its ability to withstand shocks and remain influential. America's democratic model faced scrutiny. Critics questioned effectiveness, while supporters argued adaptability was its greatest strength. The world questioned leadership. Allies sought reassurance, Rivals tested limits, and America navigated responsibility versus restraint. History showed power evolved. America increasingly relied on adaptation, technology, and alliances rather than pure military might. America's story remains unfinished. From colonies to global influence, its power has been shaped by conflict, innovation, and resilience. The future will judge how wisely that power is used.